Heard 164. Is it D? It's not
I'm
D.
hearing A. I'm hearing A.
Is it A? All right, now we're obviously it is C. No, I'm joking.
I mean,
All right, here we go.
If we're
B.
being technical, that is one big square.
Well, there's a whole bunch of other little squares you can count as well, but that's a whole nother story. So I have a quick question. When you first saw that, how many people actually? There's 1, 2, 3.
5 of you are being honest. Cool, thanks. Hey, my name is Jordy, and this is Moody. I think his mic just went dead. So this is Moody. We have a great day just focusing on what 2020 is going to look like. If you are new with us today, we want you to scan that QR code in the seat pocket in front of you just to let us know you're here, get a little bit more information about our church, and Moody and myself will be out in the lobby after service as well. Now, we're going to bring up a couple guys. This first one, he was just drinking a cold Diet Dr. Pepper because I literally just saw him doing this. Lance Birch, everybody. And I forgot his mic is dead.
My mic, it's on. Happy 2020.
He just went through Culver's. Although Culver's is not open right now, he still went through Roger Graver.
The
right.
challenge is going to be knowing the right year. Also, they said that this door was broken. Hey, guys, we're thankful that the student ministry breaks stuff around here because we believe in the next generation. And if you do it right, sometimes they're going to break some stuff. High schoolers don't listen to that. That's for the pastors. But let's give it up for the next generation and those guys helping us out.
Yeah, normally the women's Bible study breaks all the things, so we're just happy some
Yes.
student ministry people are doing it.
All right, so we are here to do some really fun stuff. I mean, we're talking budgets and bylaws and elders. Oh my.
Woo!
Yeah, yeah. So one thing we want you guys to know is this is a worship service. We are here today able to worship because Jesus Christ was resurrected. And every Sunday we come together, it's because of that. So primarily we're here just thanking God that we can even do this. So the mechanics and the stuff that we have to do for the next couple of minutes is all made possible because Jesus is who he said he was. And so we're thankful that we can do church. We're going to present the budget and some other stuff. I'm going to leave it up to you to start us out on the budget.
All right, fantastic. So are you going to put so I thought maybe they'd put the budget up here and then we know it would have been a bigger budget than last year, but it looks
One of the
like it's
biggest
the same
budgets ever.
size because it's over here. So a couple of things. Last year, you guys invested $1,243,858 into breaking down barriers between people and Jesus in the general fund. The budget, which was actually $24,095, approximately above our budget. This year's budget is $1,214,879, and so it's actually right around the same amount as last year's budget. It's a reachable budget. We're again, if giving exceeds budget, we've got lots of other ideas where we want to invest it because every dollar you give us, we consider it as a mission dollar, and we put it into the mission of breaking down barriers between people and Jesus. And also, I just want to say, in addition to exceeding budget, guys, you also gave $20,554 to benevolence.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. And with $1,500 of that money, we sent it to our missionary in West Africa, Joseph Camara, and he's actually able to get electricity to his house, which,
Awesome.
I mean, it's cool having
Thanks for
electricity.
your generosity. Yeah.
So thank you, guys. Great job. You also gave $234,251 to Pivot, which is the fundraiser we did for the coffee shop, which we hope to get started on this year.
Yeah, that's right. And if you'll notice, there are ballots around you, or else you can, and if you don't have one, you can also scan the QR code. On the bottom, there's do you have a suggestion for the coffee shop name? So even if you're not a member here.
I can't say my suggestion, so I'm
You know
not
what?
saying a thing, Lance.
This was slightly funnier in the earlier service because he didn't tell me he was going to do this. And now, Roger, I'm going to ask you to put the paper down.
I'm sorry, my bad.
All right. So later, how about your own ideas? How about maybe what
mean,
you think
You don't
ought to be the name
you don't
of the
have
coffee
to
shop?
write down one of these two great names.
Roger, first thing Monday, all right, my office. All right, so fill in that, and even if you're not a member, you can put it with the ballots and there's a black box at every door, so you can do that and help us out.
If you guys have any questions about the budget, I'll be in the not grounded space, not reality coffee space.
You said
the
them out
home
loud.
of the future coffee
The
shop.
future coffee shop.
space, Yeah.
All right.
I don't think future coffee shop is near as cool a name as the two that I picked, but that's what Lance wants us to go with. But anyway, I thought maybe people would chuckle at that because when I woke
I'll
up
do
this
it.
morning at 4 a.m. and thought that up, I'm like, that's hilarious.
I'll give you a mercy laugh.
Thank you. But anyway, I'll be over there in that
You
space.
can ask your questions.
And you can ask me questions.
We're going to vote by noon today, so if you want to ask questions, you can get those answered. You can drop these ballots into the boxes at the doors, or you can do that online by scanning the QR code. Done with this section?
That's
right.
all I have.
Well, man, I want to introduce our elders. Could all of the elders come up on the stage? And to make it a little less awkward for them, could you guys make this a time where you can applaud?
Yeah.
All right. While they're coming up, I want to welcome in the online crowd. You can also vote, and there's going to be a link for you to be able to vote for the budget, bylaws, and elders. These guys are existing elders, and also they
like standing in the shade, but I promise you they're
Oh,
not
yeah,
shady.
you guys need
Come
to
up to the light,
stand
guys. Come
up
up to the
so that
light
people
we
can see you. And I'm going to go down the row here and introduce them. Aaron is an existing elder. Aaron and his wife Corey have been bringing their family to reality for 15 years. Aaron spends his time golfing, bowling, and smoking meat. He's looking forward to getting the coffee shop finished. Give it up for Aaron. The unnamed coffee shop. This is Dave Newell, and I'm going to try to remember, Dave, what we talked about earlier. Dave has been attending our church for 16 years. He served in the Air Force. He is he's a super cool guy, and he's married to Benita. And what's your dream for Reality Church?
I guess I keep thinking discipleship. I think of discipleship and the fact that as we apply what we know of the Lord, then we'll see lives change around us.
Awesome. Thank you, Dave. Give it up for Dave. This is Leon Merrill. Leon has served as the chair at some points in our elder board. Leon and Karen have attended Reality since 2005. Reading, working out, which you didn't even have to put because it's obvious, and studying the Bible occupy Leon's free time. This year, he's looking forward to personal and corporate spiritual growth, particularly after hearing our last series, Journey. Anything to add to that?
No, that says it all.
All right, well then pass that mic down. We'll see. Terry Roth. Terry is the current chair of our elders. He and his wife Sandy have been attending Reality for really close to 20 years, about 20 years. Terry is an avid Broncos fan.
That's too bad.
So we can make, if you're a
Go
prayer
Bengals.
warrior, need prayer. He's excited to see Reality do more outreach this year in our community. Thank you, Terry. Let's give it up for Terry. Standing next to Terry is Terry Coleman. This is Terry Coleman. These three are guys that we interviewed. We had a meet and greet for the church to come and see them and ask them questions, and it was fabulously attended. We scheduled it during playoffs. Playoffs? You're talking playoffs? We're talking elders. Terry Coleman has attended Reality Church for 15 years with his wife, Cindy. Terry enjoys reading and listening to books, traveling, and collecting out-of-the-ordinary Mickey Mouse items. Wow, he's looking forward to the opportunity to serve as an elder this year. Anything you want to add to that, Terry? He's good. David Moody and his... All right, thank you. David Moody and his wife Danielle have attended Reality for over 12 years. He enjoys Frisbee golf, which I think we need to call disc golf because people, disc golf. That's all right. It's okay. perfecting his barbecue recipes. Do you go Kansas City, Texas, or what do you do, Carolina?
Kind of more of a dry rub.
Okay, all right, good. I'll be over. And hanging with the family and friends. David looks forward to the completion of the coffee shop, the unnamed coffee shop, and is dreaming about how to get more youth in the doors and get more people involved in serving. David has served in youth ministry for so long. He really believes in the next generation. During our interview process, the first issue that he brought up was helping the student ministry move the ball forward down the field. So that's great. We're glad to have someone like that on the board. This is John Newell, and John has attended reality for 16 years as well. You've served in law enforcement for 38 years. I'm acting like I'm telling you this. Did you know this? You can resign, you know. So 38 years. John has been a member of the board before. In fact, he was on the board when I first came here. Love his spirit, loves Jesus. John, is there anything that you want to say about what you want to see happen this next year?
I mentioned it earlier, just that I'm looking forward to working with a group of godly men who are trying to move and encourage people to a closer relationship with Christ.
It is such a gift to have men who love Jesus, want to follow Jesus, and who want to pay the price for leadership and support of the staff and other things. So thank you so much. I love working with you. I love getting to know you. Let's give them another round of applause as they exit. And thank you so much. Also, you can see them in the lobby if you want to and ask them any questions. But we did have a meet and greet that maybe you took that opportunity already. We're stepping up, yeah. Okay.
Stepping up to the light, Lance.
All right. Now, but what I've been wondering about and what I've been hoping we would discuss is bylaws.
I know. Everybody's on the edge of their seats
Yeah.
right now.
Woo! Some sweet bylaws talk.
This will probably be more exciting than the last 2 minutes of the Kansas City Chiefs game last weekend.
What?
Probably.
You've got 13 seconds to get the
All
bylaws.
right. I'll expect cheering and stuff as well. So Reality Church is a 501c3 corporation, and because of that, there are certain benefits that we experience in the state of Nebraska. And while that might not matter to you, it matters kind of to them. And so there's certain rules we have to follow, and the elders this year have been spent a lot of time going through the bylaws. I've read them about 20 times probably.
I actually got them on Audible.
Yeah.
They're not bad.
When you have Morgan Freeman reading your bylaws to you, I'm telling you, it gives you shivers.
That's really good.
Anyway, let me just get to the point here so we can move on. But anyway, there are a few things that we wanted to change, but we can't change them without your vote, which is part of what's in the bylaws. It says we can't just do that for no reason. So I've got a summary of some things that we changed. If you are a member, you got an email with the old copy and the new copy and a list of things that changed. If you want to have any questions about this, again, I will be over in the unnamed grounded space after actually right after I'm done here. And so
I'm right here.
I forgot about that. So anyway, here are some changes that were made. There was changes in verbiage to reflect our current vision, our current positions, and just some changes we've made over the years. This isn't the first revision, by the way, about every 8 years or so. It seems like we make some revisions. We probably should actually do this every 5 years, but no one seems to get too excited about it. There is one thing that was added was a line about chain of leadership, just so that it's very clear if something would happen to any of the leaders of the church. There was some role clarification for the elders, and as well as we're changing the terms from 3 years to 1 year. Previously, elders would be voted in for 3 years. Now it will be for a 1 year term. Also, according to the bylaws, we were supposed to mail you a notice of today's meeting. We didn't, but we should have, so we changed that to email. So next year, you'll get an email, much like you did this year, only it will be completely the way it's supposed to be. And then we also added a continuing budget resolution
and stuff.
it's a lot of like just little things, but we want to make sure that we're doing things right.
Yeah.
And everything's legal and above board, and so that was the purpose of updating them.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that we don't do anything that would put us in the crosshairs.
All right, so that's fun stuff. But if you do have other questions, and before you vote, you'll have plenty of time to get those questions answered with Roger. If you already know, if you've already read it, then that's great. You can vote by scanning the QR code. The QR code? Whatever. I'm just going to move on. We have something fun to talk about, which is
the unnamed coffee shop. Pivot. We want to talk about Pivot a little bit. And guys, I think we actually have a couple of drawings maybe or some renderings of what it could possibly look like. It's going to be super cool. And not only is it going to look great, we're going to serve great coffee. In addition to it looking great and us serving great coffee, I honestly believe it is going to be profitable and actually fund other ministries.
Yeah.
I have met with multiple local coffee shop owners, and they don't see any reason why we wouldn't be profitable. I personally have owned 2 businesses, and both of them were profitable, and I expect this one to be as well.
Okay.
And I'm just super excited about that because it's just another way to fund ministry here at Reality Church, another way to break more barriers down between people and Jesus. We currently have raised $234,000 plus. I gave you that number. We need to get to about $250,000 or $260,000 for phase 1. We have gotten the initial bids in for phase 1, and we're rebidding a couple things with some changes to try and get the price down to where we think it should be. Obviously, as you guys know, if you've had anything to do with any construction projects over the last couple of years, prices have been going up fairly significantly. And so the sooner that we can get started on this, the better. And so if you haven't jumped on board the Pivot campaign, today's a great day to jump on board and be a part of that.
Right. And the dream here is not coffee. The dream here is having a space to reach out to our community 7 days a week, have a place for people to break down barriers between people and Jesus, to have really meaningful conversations. I know that I've had a lot of those types of conversations over, and I don't even drink coffee, but had people invite me out to coffee, and it turned out to be something sort of life-changing. So please be a part of that. Get excited about that, and don't email us about the chairs. We know they look uncomfortable, and that's a rendering. So, listen. Today is not about it's not about business. It's not about bylaws or budget, and it's really about the fact that we get to come together. God has blessed us. He's given us a vision, a mission, and we get to celebrate the fact that Jesus walked out of that tomb, that His grace can forgive us, that we don't have to work our way into a relationship with Him, that He did all the work. And if you're excited about that, or even if you don't really know about that and you want to hear more, then stand with us and let's sing some truth together, and then let's celebrate the fact that we serve a risen Savior today. Can we do that? Let's sing.
Woo! Woo. Don't worry, I'm going to leave now and not lead the singing.
Nothing like budget and bylaws to make you feel like worshiping, right, guys? Ask Him to reveal to us what He's trying to do in the community around us, with the people around us, as we sing this song. Saturday was silent, surely was through. Friday's disappointment, Sunday's empty too. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is the praise make a dead man walk. Open the grave, I'm coming now. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of the dry bones rattling. Oh, hey. Pentecostal fire, stirring something new. You're not gonna run out of miracles anytime soon. Your resurrection power runs in my face too. I believe there's another miracle here in this room. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is the praise make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming now. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling.
Oh, your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful.
All my life you have been so, so good.
Every breath that I am made, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire in darkest nights. You are close like no one. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. I have lived in the goodness of God. Sing this out. And all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Sing your goodness. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now.
I give you everything.
Your
Goodness is running after, it's running after me. anxiety, nor man's empty praise. Thou mine inheritance, thou and thou and thou only be first in my heart. My King of heaven, my treasure thou art. Oh God, be my everything, be my delight. My Jesus, my glory, my soul satisfied. Oh God, be my everything, be my delight. My Jesus, my glory, my soul satisfied. My Jesus, you satisfy. My High King of heaven, when victory is won, may I reach heaven's shores, oh bright heaven's sun. Heart of my own heart, whatever befall, still be my vision, O ruler of all. Still be my vision, O ruler of all. Jesus, we put you at the center of what we're doing here this morning. Lord, I pray that you would let your Holy Spirit invade this room this morning. Lead us, guide us, call us up higher than we thought was possible. Lord, fill us with that Holy Spirit. And just give us the energy, the passion, the focus, the drive to be able to do the things that you're calling us as a church and us as individuals to do. Lord, we love you. We praise you. It's in your Son's powerful name we pray. Amen. Now we have some staff updates for you guys. Some of our amazing staff, give them a hand. I told the last service to time them, but I'm not going to say that again because they didn't. They definitely went over. So you can still time them if you want.
Is this on? Can you hear me? Hey, I'm Megan. Thanks. This table is going to help me a lot. I am the new iFit coordinator here at Reality. So iFit is our ministry for individuals with special needs. So I just want to kind of tell you about that. I have 3 kids that go here at Reality. 2 are in Storm. 1 uses the iFit program. You may know him. His name is Seth. He tends to get recognized. Seth was born in China and spent his first 4 years there before he joined our family. He's 7 now. He has a fantastic laugh. He loves music. You can usually see him in the 9 o'clock service dancing his way all around the back through worship. He also has developmental delays. He has hearing loss. He is not yet verbal. And there's really just no way that he could get through regular Sunday morning programming. So my husband and I would not be able to attend church or pay attention at all if it weren't for a program like iFit and Seth's wonderful, helpful buddy, Preston, who helps him on Sunday mornings. Think about that just for a second. Not being able to attend a church because there's not a place for your child. That's not a great position to be in. So here at Reality, we want you to know that we believe that all people are created in the image of God, that all people deserve to have a place where they belong and a community. So if you have someone in your family with different needs, or if you know someone who does, please hear me clearly on this. You are welcome here. You are invited. We do have a place for you. You are not a burden. We have a seat that is saved. Child, adult, physical disabilities, cognitive differences, anything, you are welcome. This year we're planning some really great events for breaking down barriers between people and Jesus, all kinds of people. And we need you to get involved in that. We want to serve you, and we want you to help serve. And know that serving in this capacity, whether with iFit or with Reality Kids, it's really not as overwhelming as it may seem. We have trainings that we can provide. We have structure. You will not be left alone, I promise. And it is an incredibly rewarding experience. Preston, Seth's helper, is a high school student. So this is a great opportunity for teens and adults to get involved. Right now, I especially would appreciate help in just getting the word out. We want the community of individuals with special needs in the Omaha area to know that we have this ministry and that we want them here. So if you guys go, like if you take a kid to speech therapy or something like that, I'm going to have flyers next week that I can get you. You can hang those up places. You can pass them out to people. Also, give my email address to anyone or email me to connect with anyone. My email is megan.moore@reality.church. You can email me suggestions for the program if you want to put me in touch with someone, if you want to help. Any complaints that you have, you can email to Lance Birch. That's totally his line, you guys. I stole that right from him. The gospel is for everyone. When Jesus was born, the angel said, I bring you good news of great joy for all the people, all of them. The gospel tells us that we are all loved and known more than we can ever imagine, and that there is room enough at the table for everyone. I hope you will all join me in inviting them. Go Chiefs.
Thank you. Thanks. Good morning. I'm Keith West. I am the Reality Church online campus pastor. And tell you, Megan, that we enjoy seeing Seth in church every week when he's in here for music. He was in there, back there behind me during music earlier and hit me on the back of the neck. But I thought it was really funny. So anyways, but it's a joy to watch what's happening with the iFit and what and the children that are here and have a chance and hope. So giving a quick update on the online campus, if you look around you right now, and if you look around yourself in the service before this, roughly 1/6 of the people who attend Reality Church attend weekly online. So it's a campus, it's a big campus. Hi to everybody who's online right now, because you don't usually see my face, you just see what I type on the screen to you. But so why do we have an online campus? It's because we know there are people who can't otherwise attend church. Right now it's been people who are maybe have cancer and they're homebound, or other situations that they're homebound. They're either scared of COVID or can't get COVID because of their situation, or maybe they're in the military and they travel a lot, or hey, maybe you're on vacation, or we even have a couple people attending who are snowbirds and they just want to continue attending Reality throughout the year, so they attend from where they go in the winter. We try to make the online campus as much a full service church as here in person. So we do things like pastoral care, counseling. I text a lot with people, have long text conversations with people, helping them through struggles. We send out communion supplies so they can do communion at home with the same supplies you guys have here, if that's what they want. And just trying to meet the needs of people who can't otherwise come to our building. We're really excited this year because we're going to be expanding our programs. Something that's become very popular is what's called long format media. So for example, the podcast or YouTube videos. We're going to expand to do a podcast here. We're going to take the message, all the questions that were asked in the message, and make that into a longer format. People are finding that as they're doing dishes or driving around, they have found time to listen to these longer format messages. So we're going to start producing that in our studio in addition to the weekly service that we stream. The other thing we have noticed is that we get a huge response whenever we do a mental health series. I don't know if you guys are here for the last one we did, but we were packing chairs into the back. We had the doors open. There were so many people here for that because there's such a need. So one thing we're going to do this year is build a website geared around anxiety, and it will bring people in. We will do a webinar for them. We'll point them to our mental health series messages and provide some other materials. Because I don't know about you guys, but I think a lot of people are having, I know I am, anxiety through this whole COVID thing, and we just want to reach out and find a way to outreach to those people. So that's where we're headed this year with online.
All right, so my name is Kenneth, as it says on the screen. Normally I forget that, so I know your name tag. But I'm the Reality Kids pastor here at Reality. Sorry, I'm a little green. Kids in the back at Sunday Fun Day, so they got to slime me. So I have green everywhere. It's not fun, but actually it's fun. So I just wanted to give you guys an update, talk to you guys about my vision for Reality Kids and all that stuff. So my vision of the church for the Reality Kids is I'm going to build a foundation of faith through friends and fun. And in order for this to work, babies through third graders and their parents, I want them to experience a growing relationship with Jesus. And this can't just be done by myself, unfortunately. My ministry relies vitally on my team, my volunteers in the back. So for all my volunteers that are here in this service, they served last service, I want to thank you guys personally. I cannot do this without you. You guys are amazing. Give them a round of applause. They make your kids have fun back there. And everyone who doesn't volunteer, I would like to tell you how the impact that you guys have on as adults on kids' lives are immense. When I was in 4th grade, a long time ago, I had a guy in my Sunday school class named Kevin Black. And he took me and helped motivate me because I had ADHD and I wasn't sitting still, and he just poured himself into my life and made it so cool to have some senior in high school, treat me as, someone they cared about. And it just changed my life for the better. And it's something he never saw because he didn't see the outcome of it, and he's not going to see it now. I'm trying to get in contact now that I'm back in Nebraska, but, it's something that you don't see as the volunteer or as the chosen minister, but it impacts the kids' lives. And I want to ask you guys, think on a time when you guys were little kids, when you were young. There might have been an adult or a high schooler that really changed your life, impacted your life in the better. And I want to give you guys the opportunity here in the coming weeks to be that impact on the kids back there. I mean, it's crazy how much they love to have people, not just me, impact their lives. And I want to give that option. So let's build some foundations together and grow.
My name is Bree Collison, and I'm the director of Next Steps here at Reality. So Next Steps are just actions that you can take to get more active in your faith and to grow as a disciple. So this includes things like being baptized, serving, giving generously, even inviting somebody to come to church with you is a next step here at Reality. And so for this upcoming year, I just want to provide really clear opportunities for you to take your next step and to provide obvious paths for you. I'll do that by being an open line of communication for you. So when you have questions about what next step you should take, or maybe you're considering joining a life group, but you're a little hesitant because of X, Y, and Z, or maybe you know that you want to serve, but you're not really sure in what capacity, I'm available and open to be that person. And this is kind of the first time that we've had that at Reality. So I'm really excited to build this into the culture of Reality. I know that every person has a next step. Big and small, there are all kinds of things that you can do, and I'm excited to help you get plugged in and watch you grow side by side with other believers here at Reality.
There we go. so many people smarter and more talented than me on staff. I'm the least important person. These people do it. They do it. They're passionate about reaching the next generation, and I'm just thrilled. I love pulling into the parking lot every week and knowing that I get to work with them and see the fact that they're, kind of engaging with you and equipping the next generation to reach the world for the gospel. It's just such a gift. There was a scene in this movie that I really love. It had a profound impact on me, and I think in some ways it showed me some stuff that I hadn't seen before, and maybe even some stuff about me that I didn't fully realize, to some degree even my perception of myself. And the scene in this movie, the hero, well, let me back up. Let me catch you up a little bit. The hero wasn't always the hero, okay? The hero didn't always see themselves that way in this movie. But through some revelations about their past, some discovery of some hidden talents and skills, and a lot of studying, some training, some setbacks, a little bit of confusion, finally our hero was ready and is set about on a journey of righting the wrongs of the world in which they found themselves. And our hero had everything that they needed to do this, okay? Everything was going to be fine, better than fine, because this unlikely but unstoppable force for good was going to make things right. The only catch was our hero had an enemy, and the enemy didn't play fair. Bent on the utter destruction of all that the hero loved and ultimately the annihilation of the hero themselves, the enemy lets loose with this barrage of attacks, deceit, underhanded strategies, and dirty tricks, throwing everything they have at our heroic fighter. The enemy was relentless. And so now, with that backing up the story, now we come to this scene that ultimately changed me. A blow is delivered to the hero from the enemy, which takes them down. And we sit in stunned silence. The evil side is going to win? With victory assured, the sinister villain taunts and jeers, full of the conceit that caused him to hate the hero in the first place. It is over. Or is it? From out of nowhere, the soundtrack of the movie changes. It's subtle, but unmistakable. The dark, foreboding tones and the deep, bellowing notes of the soundtrack have a counter melody lightly emerging in the background, and it's almost imperceptible. Another change happens. This time it's lighting. Where there were shadows, colors are reclaiming their territory and their identity. A glimmer of something that by now seems unfamiliar, something which hasn't been felt in any real sense in a long time, starts to spring up, something that we used to call hope. And then, the seemingly lifeless body of our hero moves. The fingers first, then a fluttering of the eyelids, then the mouth, maybe a cough. And finally, the hero, filled with renewed power and determination, rises. But is this the same hero as the one who went down? In some ways, yeah. But in all the ways that are important, absolutely not. Because after the worst has happened, there's nothing left to fear. There is real power in the fearlessness of having everything go wrong. And with that power, our hero begins their assault on the enemy. The music soars, the onslaught upon a very surprised nemesis is less a nail-biter of a fight and more just this joyful dance of victory. The defeat of the enemy isn't a possibility, it's a definite. Do you remember the movie I'm talking about? All of them. Like, all of them. All of them. There we go. There we got there. All movies have an enemy, an antagonist, and all movies have a moment of hopelessness. And then, if it's a good movie, the kind that resonates with us and has the chance to change us, that hopelessness retreats as the light overwhelms the darkness. The reasons The reason we like stories like this is because we perceive ourselves to be in a story, and that perception is correct. Now, if that's true, that implies that there is a storyteller telling the story. And if there's a storyteller, then there must be things that the storyteller has for you to do. And if there is something like fulfill the prophecy, stuff like that, the implication is that the choices that you and I make really do matter. And they matter for far longer than just our physical lifetimes. So the question to ask is, are you playing your role? Another way to say this is the way that Donald Miller asked his audience. He says, if your life was a movie, would it be a movie worth watching? That's a good question. You were made for greatness. Well, all right. You were made for more. God did not make you for time, He made you for eternity. Ephesians 2:10 says that you're God's masterpiece, created in Christ Jesus to do good works which God planned in advance for you to do. You are here not by accident. You're here with a purpose. You've got skills and talents and treasures inside of you that the world desperately needs. And your role is to play that out, to let God work through you. How many barrier breakers do we have in the room, like right now? Somewhere along the way, you've been trained, taught, modeled for that you are unqualified and should leave the work of spreading the gospel to the professionals. The subtle message of churches has been, don't try this at home. At the core of who you are, you need to stop thinking of church as them and start thinking of it as us. The worst strategy to reach our community is to have some person standing on a platform in a building somewhere every 7 days. That was never the plan. Barrier breakers out there 24/7, that's unstoppable momentum. That's the plan. It always has been. You are plan A. There is no plan B. See, here's the problem. If we try to maintain or get back to normal, we are going to miss out on the victory. Nope. We choose something different. The last 2 years has actually renewed our passion for outreach. This church will do anything short of sin to get to those who need to know Christ. That's why we're launching something called the Momentum Project. The Momentum Project is centered on this biblical idea of the commission of every single believer. Jesus said, we will be His witnesses. He said that He will give His power to us to do it. Yeah, the enemy can knock us down. But if we don't lose heart, then the victory that Jesus won can live through us. The Momentum Project is this. Each of us who calls Jesus our Savior, who are following Jesus, each of us making a decision to be on mission every day, looking for opportunities to do something new, something different, something surprising in our world. The enemy wants to tell you you can't change the world. Okay, so what? I've got a world that I'm living in right now that God gave me, people on the front row of my life. I can change my world, the people around me. God may give you an idea, and you need training, or you need resources, or you need advice. We are here to equip you to do the work. That's the role of church leadership, here to equip you to do the work. You have people in your life that need Jesus, and God has you in their lives to bring Him. God hasn't run out of ideas. He's not wringing His hands. He's looking for you to reach the people right in front of you, in your neighborhood, at work. So here's what we want you to do with the Momentum Project. Number one, pray. Pray for God to use you. Pray that God reframes your idea of what church even is. From some place you go to something that you are. Not them, but us. Second, look for gaps, look for needs, look for opportunities in our community, and start to dream with God about the possibilities that someone as unqualified as you could affect change in that. Because we're all unqualified. God doesn't mind that. He can qualify you later, but he will call you if you're available. Are you available? Look for gaps, needs, opportunities, and then let us know. There will be communication between Reality leaders and you to maybe hone and focus whatever dream God gives you. It won't be a centrally organized thing. It will be much more powerful than that. It will be the church, like in the first century, where believers saw themselves as missionaries to their world, as ministers of the gospel everywhere they went. We can't go back to normal. The last 2 years have actually shown us that we don't want to. We want to change and reframe the way we think of the church in the first place. The idea that Jesus had, that each one of you is a missionary to the world that you're in. And if that idea that we hone and we give you research, if it fits our values and our mission as a church, and you're willing to tell your story at the end, that's an important part. If you're willing to tell your story at the end so people can see what it looks like, then we're going to get you what you need to do it. This year, we are rising. The church is wounded nationally in our community. The church is wounded. People are frazzled. People are a little prickly right now. I don't know, have you noticed? And it looks like it's over. But we follow a Savior who was 3 days dead and turned the whole thing around. Momentum to break down barriers comes from the momentum that rolled that very first barrier away. The stone that stood between life and death, hope and despair, guilt and grace, it's gone. And with it, every excuse that we could ever muster to stop doing the mission that God has called us to do. We have to. So let's go. Are you with me? Let's go. Let's go to our community and let's decide I'm going to be a missionary. I'm going to need to hear you. Are you with me on this? All right, so you can do this. They call this applause. So we're gonna be rolling this out, and I want you to take this very seriously. A lot of you guys have taken a next step with Jesus, and last week we asked you to write it down on a card, and I want you to just be encouraged by this next video of what God is doing in the hearts of people around you. We're not done. We're not done till Jesus wraps this whole thing up and makes all the sad things come untrue. We're not done till he redeems everything. And so let's keep on going and look at these stories, and then after that, let's celebrate and sing together.
That's awesome. Would you guys stand up? Let's celebrate what we had together here today and sing one more song together.
Out from the dead, freedom, our chains. No weapon formed shall prevail. Your will is stronger. We overcome. Your great kingdom forever will stand. We won't be shaken. We will not fear. Oh, our God, a mighty warrior. You're a consuming fire. In victory you reign. We triumph in your name. Jesus, the great commander, you conquer death forever. In victory you reign. We triumph in your name. Your glory resounds through the age. Our saints declaring your grace. Your kingdom forever will stand. We won't be shaken. We will not fear. Our God, a mighty warrior. You're a consuming fire. In victory you reign. We triumph in your name. Jesus, the great commander. You conquer death forever. In victory you reign. We triumph in your name. Oh, we declare your name is power. Exalted one, your name is higher. You stand alone, a strong defender. Above you there's no other. Above you there's no other. And we declare your name is power. Exalted one, your name is higher. You stand alone, our strong defender. Above you there's no other. 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 Our God, a mighty warrior. You're a consuming fire. In victory you reign. We triumph in your name. Jesus is the great commander. You conquer death forever. In victory you reign. We triumph in your name. And we declare your name is power. Exalted one, your name is higher. You stand alone, our strong defender. Above you there's no other. Above you there's no other. Above you there's no other. Above you there's no other.
All right, you guys take a quick seat. So if you are new here, just want to let you know this is not a typical service. This is kind of our down and dirty business meeting, and I wish business meetings at like work were this good, like, and have a worship service in the middle of it, rather than like long, nasty business meetings. But if you were new here, Jordy and I would love to meet you out in the vestibule. There'll be a white cabinet back there, and we'd love to meet you back there. And we have a gift on behalf of the church.
Do not forget to vote. We have the ballots in front of you. There's pens in the seat backs. If you want to fill one of those out, put it in the black boxes. If you would rather do it online, maybe go home, look at the bylaws, whatever, if you need to review some of that stuff, you can do it on the app. But here's the thing. I went and jumped on the app, and I was like, where do I find the ballot? Click the momentum thing at the top. It'll actually send you, if it works, there we go, it'll actually send you to the ballot. So you can do it online there, or reality.church/momentum.
All right, and we also have, if you need prayer today, we do have a couple that will be over here to the left, my left, and they're here to pray for you. And you can also email your prayers, requests. I think there's going to be a slide up here about it. But the cool thing is the staff here at the church, they take time every Monday morning to pray for your needs. And I think that's fantastic. Yes, our staff is kind of leading us forward through vision and different things, but they also have our back. They're also lifting you up in prayer at the beginning of every week. So as you kind of conquer your first work week, the first days of your work week, the staff here is praying for you as well. And I think that is powerful that our staff does that.
All right, Reality Church, it has been a wonderful morning, and we hope that you have a fantastic week. You all, we'll see you next week.
Go Chiefs!